Hey, what's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com. Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. How y'all doing today? It's been I'm not going to say a hell of a week because it's been a bit of a productive week and a good week. It's been an emotional week, but not like in a bad way, just of experiencing the small joys in life, the things that we kind of take for granted. First things first, welcome back again. This past weekend, I want to talk about my weekend first because it was amazing. So y'all know last weekend I took a little staycation, had my little time to me and enjoyed my little time. I got a free night stay at the Rio. So I doubled back because they gave me another 2 free night stay. But this time, since I had it, I wasn't really being selfish this time. I actually brought the family along. We had a family staycation and it was amazing. The kids loved it. The kids had Monday off for Labor Day, so we had Sunday, Monday. We were at the hotel. We were due to check out Tuesday morning, but we'd rather just check out. We just checked out Monday night, came home so they can be ready for school the next day. We ain't got to worry about too much, drama going on. However, though, the kids were super excited because all I told them was, I got a surprise for y'all tomorrow. And I didn't tell them what the surprise was. So then they see me starting to pack my suitcase. They said, we going to California? And I was like, nah, not quite California, but we going to have a little, I can't tell y'all yet, but we going somewhere. So we get the Uber there. Man, I can't, family of 6, I got a family of 6, like that right there is, man. So, but basically after we got the Uber, we pretty much got it all packed. We got there, we got dropped off, went and checked in. I went and got the room keys and stuff. So I'm like, all right, kids, y'all gotta follow me. So we walk and go to the room and it was like, what? We in a hotel? So they got super excited, super stoked out. We did the whole thing, we went and got some food and stuff, breakfast, of course. Hash House to Go-Go, shout out to them. Kids love their pancakes. They don't really too much care for the eggs and the potatoes there, but they definitely love the pancakes. So I'll give them that for sure. But it was also a way for us to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone with us doing a staycation with the family, plus celebrating, my brother, little baby, may he rest in peace. His birthday was yesterday. So we also tried to celebrate that as well. And it was just a great time with the family. The kids, the first day there, we did breakfast. We went ahead and hung out with each other. We played around for a minute. I took them down to play in the arcade and stuff, play some games, have some fun. We kind of just walked around for a second, went to the store, ordered pizza, the normal things you do while you're in the hotel room on a staycation. They loved the view because they kept on going to the window. They were playing I Spy from the hotel room, which is pretty cool. We also ended up playing hide and seek, which ironically enough, in a hotel room, there are plenty of places to hide. So it kind of makes me wonder to make sure you check all bases when you first check in to make sure nobody's in there creeping. But, playing hide and seek with 4 kids, and their mom in a room, it was tough. But we found so many hiding spots and I was just like, man, this is crazy. It makes you just wonder, like, what could be happening when you're outside of your room? You don't know. You never really know. But all in all, after that, we actually took them Monday. We actually took them to the pool at the Rio, and they had a blast. They had their floaties. I had their floaties and stuff hidden because I just wanted to give them one surprise after another. I wanted to keep hitting them like wham, 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 and it worked out pretty well. So when I pulled out their floaties and the swimwear and they got ready for the pool, they got excited so we can go to the pool. We went down there. We all played around. We all jumped in. Now this is what got me is they all got in the pool, but Junior normally, if the water is a little too cold, he won't touch it. Like he's like, you can keep that. He don't want to go nowhere near it. Ironically, this time around, he actually was super happy to get in the pool. But the trick to it was I had to be holding him. And I love it because I'm like, hey, he feels safe with his father. So I'm good with that. He feels safe with me. I know he likes it. So I'd put him like on my back and hold him and I walk around the pool so he can go around and move around, you know. The pool's only 4 feet tall and I'm 6'2". So of course it barely went up to my stomach. So of course I leaned over to let the water touch his legs a little bit and stuff. But I walked around the entire pool with him and held him so that way he felt like he was swimming too. And he had so much fun. His favorite thing was the wee woo wee. I was acting like a siren, like I needed people who got the way wee woo wee woo wee woo. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it all the time. All the kids took turns for getting on my back as I swam across. Then they tell me, you know, I'd be like the shark or something. They be on my backs, but they want me to go underwater while they stayed on top. So it was pretty fun. You know, just having little games, little water games. The kids really appreciated it the most. That's what I really did it for. I wanted to give them one last, like, really big powwow before, you know, they really had to take into the school year. Because at this point in the school year, if y'all haven't gotten it, my kids have been getting homework, you know. So it's back to reality, right? So I wanted to let them have one last little powwow. On top of that, we wanted to celebrate my brother's birthday, but we wanted to also make sure we didn't overspend on the budget because, you know, we're still saving up to get us a car, trying to do what we can to make sure we get another vehicle. And, you know, with 4 kids, man, it is tough. It is tough saving. But that's why I do all the overtime. That's why when they call me and need me to come in, I answer the phone and jump right away because it may be tough out here, but I need it. You know what I mean? I need it. I need it. I need it. There's not too many jobs that's willing to work around my schedule, and it's kind of tough to find a consistent one. So, you know, it just I'm not the one to like to have a spotty resume where all of these different jobs are on there. I'm always at my job for at least 1 to 2 years consistently. I try to do my best there. I don't wait too long. However, you know, these jobs nowadays, they want you there for a month or two until they find a permanent replacement. Even though you can be reliable for up to 6 months to a year for them, they want somebody that's going to be reliable for 3 months on a 40-hour week. So I get it. You got a business to run, and me, I got a family to run. So our odds are just at each other. They're just at each other. All in all, though, man, this past week was great. It was amazing. It was wonderful. Um, it was a great time seeing everyone enjoying themselves and being happy and knowing that I can provide that for them. Because I'm not gonna lie, you know, taking care of a family of 6, I have to include myself. Taking care of a family of 6, man, it is rough, you know. And but I signed up for it, so I never complain because I signed up for it, and I got to take on that responsibility in that role. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I've been doing, and I'll make sure to keep it up. But, you know, I have no complaints about it because of all of the great memories that come from it. But I do realize that I can't do any frivolous spending. I can't be going out there just doing what I want, you know, anytime that I want. I'm at a point where I saved up for about a month just to buy a new couch. You know what I mean? Just to buy a new couch because we needed one. But I saved up for about a month, month and a half because I could have just did it in one check. But then that makes me realize that, well, if the kids need something or if this bill has to be paid, I may not have the funds to get that taken care of if I just go and splurge on one thing right now. You know, things like that, it matters. It matters. It matters. But so on and so forth, so be it. But all in all, it's just so I realize that I have to be the one to make the decision to say, you know, it might sound good for us to go on a rail vacation right now, but then when we come back, we have to face a tougher reality. We have to face a larger distance between our goals and what we're looking for, what we want. And honestly, I'm done falling behind on my goals. Like, you know, I don't want to keep doing it. I want to be a step ahead for once. Like for the fact that I can be comfortable enough to wake up and say, okay, I know bills are good for the month. Let me worry about next month right now. Even though next month is 30 days away, I'd rather be okay with worrying about it right now than worrying about it when it pops up. I like having that availability, that space to say, all right, I can make that happen by then. No worries. It- I'm just going to be honest. It's a little tough if you don't do it that way. You can't live that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle and be irresponsible because then you're putting yourself in a tougher situation. It's just not worth it, man. I'm telling y'all from experience from in the past and what I've done, what I've learned. You know, it's all comes with age. You know, oh man. But life is lovely. The fact that my family can feel safe every day and smile, it makes me comfortable enough to know that I can go to work every day and work as hard as I need to for them. You know what I mean? Besides, one day it won't be like that. One day I'll be in a position where we'll have a lot more space and opportunities for each other, and maybe I can go down to a regular 40-hour work week, with days where we can kind of cooperate more. But for right now, we get it in where we fit in, and I love that especially my kids, they see that and understand it already. They don't have an issue with that, so I love that for sure, for sure. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Now, before I go ahead and get into the next topic, I got to make a brief statement about anything I'm about to talk about. A lot of the things I will talk about is because I may have had past experience with it in my personal life. Um, and then also, I may have also gone through the work that I needed to deal with it and handle it. I'm not by any means necessary a professional. I'm not by any means necessary somebody that is licensed to be a therapist or anything like that. What I will say is that there is a lot of stuff that we are not dealing with as people, as adults, as parents, and it is trickling down to where our children will see that, and then they kind of catch on to bad habits, right? And I think we all feel the same way on that. We don't want our children to have bad habits. That's why I love that quote so much. It ran into my generation, or it ran in my family until it ran into me, right? Because I'm all about breaking generational curses, right? So for the most part, yeah, I grew up to where did, maybe I did have to get whoopings or get beat on and get listened and this and that. But now it's to the point where I'm not gonna just beat my children, right? Because I realized a lot of trauma that caused me, a lot of pain, a lot of anxiety. It cost me it causes me. I'm sorry. And I found different ways to go about it by still being able to discipline these children without having to always do it by force, with hand, with a belt, with, violence. So one thing is that my childhood taught me what I would never want to put my children through, right? My childhood taught me that I do have valuable lessons when it comes to core values like integrity, honesty, things like that, that I do want to instill in my children, that I think that there's just some things you can't bypass, right? However, there are also things I realize they can be tweaked and learned and came at with a different approach, because you can get the same result if you do. Like, look at all of these math equations going around town. And even though people are getting some of the same answers, you see them come up with different ways of getting those answers. You know what I mean? So just like we always say, and I know this may be simple, but I got to keep it basic, because sometimes I'll say I go too far. 2 plus 2 ain't the only way you can get 4. You can get 1 plus 3. You can get 0 plus 4. There's different ways to get the number 4. You can do 6 minus, or 10 minus 6, 8 minus 4. There's so many different ways to get to the resolution of 4. Okay, so many different problems and ways and answers to get to the number 4. So when it comes to my childhood and the way I was, grew up and raised, I just realized that there are some things that I would definitely want my kids to instill in, when it comes to being honest, when it comes to being polite, when it comes to being respectful, you know. But I also realized that I don't have to grab a belt every single time I need them to sit down and understand what I'm saying. Because what I do realize is, even at these young ages, their minds are sponges, and if you explain it the right way and you take your time to talk to them, they will understand you better, right? I think the problem is we come to these children and talk to them like they're adults, and they're not adults. They don't understand right away. They don't know right away. They don't have the ability or the knowledge that you would think an adult or a competent adult would have. It's just not there yet. That's why we are here to teach that and raise that to them. And when I realized that, it kind of like opened up a whole new door to parenting for me, a whole new door to parenting. I realized that now I can sit down and actually explain why things are wrong and why things shouldn't happen, because now that I can explain and tell you why it's wrong or why it shouldn't happen, you are more likely to not do it. And on that one off chance that you do it and I have to discipline you for it, we can have a basic understanding of where it came from. Okay, that's all I'm really trying to say. Um, I think some of us as parents, we are so traumatized by our past that we sometimes kind of forget that these children are children, and we think we are also children talking or acting with other children when no, we're adults. We're the leaders now. We're the ones that take charge. We're the ones that actually go ahead and go forth and set the tone for this next generation of children. If y'all want respect to go up, it starts in the home. You have to teach them to be respectable people. They're little people now. I teach them little manners, whether it's my son holding the door open for people in general, or him carrying his wallet, or my daughter's making sure that if they're with us, that we get the doors for them. Yes, they know how to do it themselves, but if daddy here, we got it. If your brother here, let me get it. You know what I mean? So, prime example, my daughter right now, I can call her right now and say, "Hey, Kalila, I'm hungry." And the only thing she'll do is she'll go into the kitchen and try to find me something to eat. Do I really need her to make me something to eat? No, but it's the fact that she loves me enough to know that I'm hungry, so she wants to be the one to take care of it to make me something to eat. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun to see it and watch it. But the little things like that, it just shows the respect is there, right? That the love is there, the care is there. And I don't regret any way I raised these kids. I will not say I'm done making mistakes as a parent. I'm going to make so many more mistakes with these children growing up that I'm going to lose count. I've already lost count, right? I've already lost count. But the fact of the matter is, I keep trying because the fact that I didn't have a decent guide or anyone to show me and teach me or give me the direction and advice to be a parent, that don't mean that I'm going to stray away from wanting to be a good one. There's books around, there's articles you can go read, there's classes you can take. There's so many things you can do to learn to be a better parent, because sometimes as parents we take our own selfish needs and we're kind of, I don't want to say this to make it sound in a bad way, but we're kind of weaponizing it against these kids. And they don't deserve that whatsoever. I don't care what you say. No kid is going to deserve any kind of treatment like that. None whatsoever. Um, all in all, though, I really just think that a lot of this comes from the fact that we all have past trauma that we just don't necessarily know how to deal with. And I think if we can get through that trauma or find a way to get through it, then we'll be better off in this generation of trying to raise these new young adults that are coming up. Because I'm telling you now, man, I love the fact that my kids' teachers will tell me that, oh, Terrence was being a leader in class today. He was helping kids out that didn't know how to do it. He was being a good friend, giving good advice. Like, I love to hear that, because it goes to show, instead of him being over there trying to pick on these kids and say, oh, you stupid, you don't know what you're talking about, he's helping them get there to the level he's at, because he knows it's room enough for everybody to eat at the top. You don't have to be selfish and be the only one to eat. Everybody can eat. So he knows he can help them and do a good act and be kind to people, because that's all it takes. And I'm just happy to see that my children reflect those capabilities. I love to see those things with them in school, in general, in life. I love that people come around and they say, your kids are very well mannered. They're well behaved. We do a great job in this household. You know what I mean? We do a great job with raising these kids. I've always told y'all that no matter what goes on between me and Diamond, we do such a great job with these kids when we put our differences aside for them. I don't care what you say. And our kids show that. Live examples, they show exactly how we do as parents. And it takes me a minute to see that, but when people keep pointing out to me, at some point I gotta even acknowledge it and be like, you know what, you're right. We are doing one hell of a job as parents. So let me go ahead and give credit where credit is due and just kind of take that. I'll take that reward for now. I'll take that reward. But that's part of being a parent, trying to raise them to be respectful, be nice, be kind, uh, just to be empathetic, not sympathetic, right? So this article is from Very Well Health. This one is actually from August 7th of last month of this year. As you know, I try to find the latest articles because I try to be as up to date as I can when I talk about stuff like this, because I don't want it to be like I'm pulling articles from 4 or 5 years ago that kind of change the dynamics of what we're talking about now. So if you know, you know. This one just talks about how to let go of past trauma, pretty much. Because trauma is an emotional response to an overwhelming physically or emotionally threatening event. Trauma can result from adverse life events in childhood or adulthood, abuse, relationship violence, assault, loss, and more. Now, making sense of a traumatic incident and its aftermath, it's hard. Healing may feel impossible. However, trauma-informed care and effective treatment options are available to help individuals begin to mend emotionally and physically after an event. This one just says, read on to learn more about past trauma, how to let it go and heal, and how to seek help. Because again, it's nobody's fault that we are or that we have past trauma. But it is our fault if we choose to ignore it and not actually deal with it. You know what I mean? Because at that point, we kind of are creating that same cycle again without really getting the details or getting the growth that we actually need, I should say, for lack of a better word, the growth that we actually need. Because sometimes, uh, that past trauma can mess with things that you don't even know it's messing with. I'm just gonna be real with you. Uh, we'll we'll see some here in this article. Let me see. In this article here, it kind of gives you some of the ideas to go with and to run with. Um, so past trauma side effects like rates of trauma are relatively high, meaning many of us have been exposed to harmful or dangerous situations. A review of trauma literature noted approximately 60% of men and 51% of women reported experiencing a traumatic event in their lifetime. What's more, many adults will experience multiple traumatic events. And as y'all know, as adults, we're going to experience events like that. Whether you lose friends, you lose family, you lose close colleagues or coworkers. So there's more to it, right? Um, let's see here. Reactions to trauma can be acute or long term. Traumatic events can lead to disturbances or decline in emotional, physical, and interpersonal well being. In some instances, reactions to trauma can lead to a diagnosis of PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. Examples of traumatic responses may include, right, intrusive or repetitive memories or digressive thoughts, flashbacks, nightmares or trouble sleeping, memory issues, persistent distressing emotions including fear, shame, rage, guilt, or, well, if they put shame twice, anxiety or depression, feeling on edge or easily startled, irritability, isolation or withdrawal from support, disassociation, detachment, or depersonalization. Also, avoidance of thoughts or triggers related to the event. So, all of this stuff can be telling you that anything can lead you back to your past trauma. It can be a smell, it can be the sight of something, the color, the feel of something, the thought of something, a sleep pattern. Basically, there are so many different things that can cause our past trauma to arise that we don't even realize it because we don't know. We don't know. We don't really know, right? It's all new to us. And is that fair? I'm not saying it's fair, but it's just like if we do see it and we do recognize it's different or something is wrong, I think as adults, we should just be able to go find some help for it. Just go find out what we can do to get it better at it. We don't have to make it perfect. We just have to work at it. We just have to put effort in. That's it. That's all it takes. Um, what is considered traumatic is an event or situation may be considered traumatic when it causes psychological and emotional distress that hinders your daily functioning. So, an example of a traumatic event, right? Situation and events that may be traumatic include, but are not limited to. So, there could be more. Sudden death or loss of a loved one. I lost my brother. That was a very traumatic experience. I lost my stepdad. That was a very traumatic experience. It was so many people I lost in life that was very traumatic, right? Those are traumatic experiences. Divorce or end of a significant relationship. We've all been there, right? Or on the verge, or thinking about it, or wanting to do it, or had to end a relationship long term. We've all been there. Accidents, whether it's a car accident, a plane accident, a bike accident, a work accident. Accidents happen, but they can leave trauma because it makes you feel like, for example, if you get a lunchbox that falls on your head, you go back to work, you're gonna be looking at things when they fall like, oh no, not my head again. And it may be like that for a little while until you kind of deal with it. You know what I mean? Put the effort in to work on it. Physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. So I'm not going to talk on sexual abuse because I can't say that I've been there personally. So um, I think that's just a very hard pill to swallow and something to deal with. So I don't want to give any inappropriate comments on that because I haven't been there myself. But as I've been told, and I hear, um, sometimes people don't even want to, be intimate with their partners because of stuff like that, and that's just a sad truth, and it sucks that people have to deal with stuff like that. Physical or emotional, though, like that kind of abuse is easy. Like people can do that, whether it's physical harm or emotional or mental abuse. Like it's all the same, and it can bring back trauma. Somebody tell you they hate you, and all you can think about every time you be around them is, well, they hate me, they hate me, they hate me. You're thinking about that traumatic experience of them telling you that. It sucks to have to deal with stuff like that, and it sucks to be around things like that. But in all fairness, we have to do the work to get through it and get past it. I know it may suck that I keep repeating that, but I'm going to keep doing it because I'm speaking from personal experience. The longer it took me to acknowledge it, the longer it took me to get through it. And if you really want to get through it and get past it, just acknowledge it, deal with it, and attack it head on. I'll tell you one thing right now. You want to know the biggest thing your problems hate? Your problems hate when you attack them head on. That's what they hate. That's what they really hate. Be upfront and direct with your problems and attack them head on, and I guarantee they'll disappear faster than my father did. Oh God. Oh, I gotta stop making jokes like that. I gotta stop making jokes like that. But I'm serious. I bet you, if you attack them problems head on, they would disappear faster than my father did. I guarantee it. Um, Combat or exposure to elements of war, surviving a natural disaster, chronic or extreme stress. There's so much dealing with it when it comes to actually having, past trauma. But this is the part that I really loved about this article, because it gave in the part that said why letting go is hard. And it's nice to see it on, paper or on screen, whatever you want to call it, but just to see the words to explain it kind of gives you a sense of like, oh, so it's not just me that feels this way. You know what I mean? Um, So it's normal to have difficulty recovering from trauma or pain from the past. Just because the experience is over doesn't mean you haven't been deeply affected. It can take time to recognize and understand what's happened and what it means for you. Letting go implies that we are releasing ourselves from parts of the past. This can be challenging when we've created bonds or have meaningful memories attached to people, places, and things. Human beings also have a hard time with change, taking in or making sense of situations that affect how we see ourselves and the world is a complex task. Okay, I love I love it because it says this can be challenging when we've created bonds or have meaningful memories attached to people, places, and things. So right now, till this day, I have a pair of shoes and a few pair of clothing that I got from my brother's closet when he passed away. It's been 12 years. Okay, we've celebrated 12 years of his memory. He's missed 13 of his birthdays. 13. That was 13 birthdays yesterday that I didn't celebrate with him. And I still have that one pair of shoes and those clothing items in my closet because, in some way, shape, or form, I feel closer to him with those around. Because I feel like I've created a bond with the items he's left behind, even though it's been 13 or 12 years, sorry, of his passing. 12 years. And I cannot let those items go because I've created such a bond in my mind, in my soul, with those items because they pertain to him. I can't fit the shoes. I've outgrown the shoes. The clothes I can possibly still fit. I may wear something every once in a while, right? But ultimately, I would not let go of those items for the simple fact of they belong to him because I just miss him that much. And it's hard for me to let go of it. It is really hard for me to let go of it. How to let go of past trauma, though? Some strategies to help improve your mental health and well-being after trauma include stay connected to your support system. It's always great to have at least one person, a great support system. I got Yodi, I got Sydney, my best friend, a couple people there that I got as a great support system. Find healthy activities that help with self-expression. I realize work is not one of them. Move your body in gentle ways like stretching, yoga, or walking, which I'm trying to stretch more throughout the days, but I do walk a lot at work. I just talked about how now when we go shopping, I have to balance it out and replace most of my snacks with more fruits and vegetables. Keep a regular sleep routine, which I'm trying to do at least 6 to 7 hours a night, mandatory to at least make myself get some sleep. Practice mindfulness and relaxation and techniques, right? So if it's meditation or for me, it's music or, any kind of instrument, something that's kind of calm and relaxing. Attend a support group if you have to. Counseling, therapy. There's more than one way to get that done. Use stress management strategies. Seek help from a mental health professional. By the way, my stress management strategies when it gets too tough, video games. Never failed. Always go straight to video games for me. Give me 2 to 3 days on video games, I'll be good to go. Just being honest. And again, seek help from a mental professional, right? Professional, all right? I just have to say that because I'm not trying to sound rude or mean, but again, I'm not no licensed therapist or nothing. I just want to talk about it because I just feel like it needs to be talked about. It needs to be said. It needs to be brought up. The last thing I really want to talk about here is, whew, it's gonna hurt some of y'all feelings because I see y'all are like die hard on this one. Let me tell y'all something. Any person, any person that is detrimental to your mental health and well-being as a person, you need to you need to go find the nearest pair of scissors you can find and cut them off. When you give somebody a chance and then they come back and they blow that chance as well, you need to cut them off. Stop dealing with people that can only bring negative things into your life, that can only bring you down emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever the case may be. Stop giving them your presence to give that power over you. Because as long as they know they can do it, they will. It's sad to say it, and I'm sorry to say it, but if they can get that power over you and they know that you'll keep letting them do it, they will keep doing it time and time and time again. Simple as that. I say that because a lot of us have a lot of toxic family, and y'all seem to think it's okay to just keep letting them back in your life because they're family. Another one of my favorite sayings is blood makes you related, but loyalty makes you family. Loyalty, right? If you were born with me in the same bloodline, but you have done nothing but be disloyal to me and stab me in the back and just done me wrong, you are not family. You are just blood. We're related, but you are not family. We're related by blood. That is it. That is all it is. When you show me loyalty, when you show me that regardless of what the situation may be, no matter what it is, you got my back because you know if it came down to it, I'm going to have yours in the same exact way. That's loyalty. That's family. That's what I'll call family right there. I am not about to give anybody a pass for being toxic and welcome them back into my life. Y'all do it and that's fine. Have fun with it. But I don't care if it's a mother, father, brother, sister, uncle, grandma, auntie. Get out of here. Get away from me. The only people I owe that responsibility to if it ever happens are my children. That's it. I owe them undying loyalty. So if we ever fall out throughout life and they ever want to come back to make it right, I will always be there with open arms when it comes to my children. Anybody else, y'all can kick fucking rocks. I don't say that to be mean. I don't say that to be aggressive. I say it to just get my point across. Because I have no intention, and I don't know who may be watching today and who may be here or who the message may get to. But if you know that in life I have cut you off and I have no reason to deal with you or conversate with you or talk to you or be around you, you don't have to worry about me anymore. I swear you don't. I'm out of your life for good. You don't have to worry about trying to reconnect with me because I don't want to. We don't have to be friends again. We don't have to be family again. We don't have to be nothing. I don't care who it is. I've chose to live my life accordingly and take care of my family and choose to love the people that show us that they love us. The people that show us they care about us, that they're loyal to us, that's the people we give our loyalty to. That's the people we give our support to. And I'm raising my kids to be the same way. I'm raising my children to understand if they care about you, if they love you, they would be there. If they ain't there, there's your answer. There is your answer. I have no beef with anybody. I have no malice with anybody. No ill will, no nothing against anybody I've cut off. I just ask y'all to keep y'all distance. Stay away from me. That's it. That's all it is. I don't see what's so hard about that. I think that's respecting my boundaries. You don't have to reach out to see how I'm doing. I'm great. I'm good. There's nothing you can do to help if I was doing bad. I couldn't rely on you then. I'm not going to rely on you now. You know, funny thing is, growing up, I was always the black sheep. My father didn't want me, apparently. Remember, he was a great magician. He had the best disappearing act. Found out his name is Willie. Will he come back? I don't know. I don't know. Or what's the other one? My dad's name is Randolph because when my mom got pregnant, he ran off and had another family. Yeah. Sorry. I make a lot of dad jokes. But I'm going to say this is so my father didn't want me, right? He questioned me at birth at that. My mother, would leave it to her what she told me. She tried to kill me as a baby in her stomach. She tried to drink and do pills and shit or whatever, smoke, whatever it was. But she tried to kill me. Now, I was born premature. I really think that she tried to kill me again and she really just induced her labor because I was born super early, like a month or two. And then growing up in my life, I didn't really get the love and care for either one of those parents. It was more so I was tolerated, but nobody liked me because of who my father was. And again, I didn't know the man at all. Y'all know more about him than I do. I get to grow up to y'all telling me stories about him, and that's how I get to know him, through stories, And through all of that, growing up and nobody really being there for me, just getting stabbed in the back, nobody having my back, nobody having the support. And, I just, as an adult, I go back and, as a kid, when shit happens, you just play it all in your head. But as an adult, you can put two and two together. And in all honesty, I just didn't belong there. I think if they would have really thought about adoption, they would have just gave me up. You know what I mean? But it's okay. Because I've been through my therapy, I've been through my counseling and realized that I've had some very traumatic experiences in life. And some very fucked up things may have happened, and I just had to deal with it and get through it. You know what I mean? I couldn't grow to be a better person when I kept holding on to all that anger, all that hurt, all that betrayal. It just wasn't good for my soul. It wasn't good for my body. It wasn't good for my mind. So now that I've been able to release all of that and I've been able to let it go and say, you know what, man? Like, I feel lighter. I feel like the situation is not that heavy no more. And I feel like I can think better. My mind is more clear. My strategy is there. My goal is there. The road is paved. And, I got a game plan. So knowing that I let go of so much heavy weight that didn't belong to me, I don't plan on going back to that. I don't plan on dealing with that again. Like, life has been decent for me. And it's not been the best life, but life ain't supposed to be fair for everybody. Life is supposed to be life and you enjoy it the way it comes. And if you look back at it, if I look at it now with my adulthood and my kids and my family, man, I love this life. I'm enjoying it. This is exactly what I asked for. I may not be everywhere I want to be with this life, but for a ballpark figure, I'm there. I'm there. So I am just in a better place mentally to just be able to say, I can cut people off and I don't have to rekindle anything with them. I don't have to conversate and be around anymore. And, none of that. I already told Diamond, I said, when they come, if anything happened to me, you are next of kin. They're going to come to you for all my arrangements and everything. And I'm telling you right now, she got a list of people that are not allowed to walk in my funeral. And I told her, if they respect me like they say they do, they wouldn't come. All you got to do is tell them. I told her I'll even make a video and leave it for her. That way she can play the video back to him. So you can see it's me in mind, body, spirit, and soul. And it's not me being petty. It's not me being nothing, but you don't need to say your goodbyes already. We had our funeral when we stopped talking to each other. Like, we had our funeral then. There's no need for you to come and try to be fake and just try to come and show up. There's no need. It's all good. But again, I plan on living a long, healthy life. So, my kids will have lived a great life being adults by then. Even they'll be able to have my back. And that's one thing I know for sure, man. Them kids got my back for sure, no matter what, regardless. But I just have to say to y'all, man, these toxic family members that y'all think because it's your mom or your brother or it's your grandma, grandpa, cousin, you don't have to keep allowing them to disrespect you and treat you in a way that it seems like you don't matter or they don't care. I do understand that it gets lonely out here in this world without family. I 100%, 1000% agree that it gets very lonely in this world without family. But what I'll also say is, if you have a family you've created, please put all your focus and energy into them. Please do. Because I guarantee you, you'll feel so much better knowing that that toxic family you came from, you don't have to deal with them. Because now you can create a healthy family and you can break those generational curses. That's why I'm so big on just keep telling y'all, like, just try to put any effort to make it work or get through this stuff. It's not easy. It's not a walk in the park. It's not going to change overnight. It may not even be the next year. But I swear, if you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when you get stuck, just sit there and reflect for a second. But don't go back. Just keep moving forward, just a little bit at a time. And I swear, the more you do that, the easier it becomes to walk that path. So anytime you face another problem, it becomes easier to deal with that, easier to deal with that. Now you have a routine on how to take care of a problem in a healthy way. You know, you want to how to healthily take care of a problem. And when you learn it, you're going to be like, man, it was a lot of work. It was tough. It was rough, but I did it. I did it. I got there. You know, I got there. Sometimes you have to double back into therapy or counseling because there may be new experiences that you just can't really figure out, and you may need that little bit of advice that can give you that. You ever sat around sometime and somebody just said one thing that made an entire situation click like that? It's kind of how sometimes you'll go back to therapy because you know they'll have that one little saying or they'll have a word or they'll have an expression that'll make you be like, ah, there it is. What I've been looking for. You got it. You got it. Thank you. You did it again. You became one of my elite employees, you know? But I just wanted to share all of that information with y'all today, man, because I see a lot of things going on social media and, you know, in real life. And I can just, I feel like a lot of it may be coming from a lot of a past trauma that we all have had or still have or we're dealing with. And I just think the sooner we can put the work in, the effort in to get that taken or get um, that mind state to a healthy place, you know, relapses happen, but just don't stay there. Okay. Just don't stay there. I promise you, nothing comes from staying in a relapse but the bad cycle all over again. And for the life of me, do not think about how far you have to go. I want you to realize how far you have came. And when you realize how far you've been coming, how far you've been working, how hard you've been working at it, the road there won't even seem long no more because you'll love the progress you're making on the way there. You're going to love the experience you get on the way there. The effort that you put in, it's going to pave a way for a healthier future for you. I kid you not. I kid you not. Um, yeah, but I'm just saying, man. I love all of y'all if y'all don't know it or not. And I really, even if it's only one person, I know I say it all the time because I'm telling y'all, I get a few people that'll hit me up on the side and we have conversations. But I love the fact that they know if they need the advice or they need just a conversation, that they can come here and talk to me. I love that idea. I love that concept. So that's why I'll keep doing it. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, you know, football season is back. Right. Football season is back. So, you know, go Atlanta, you know, my team gang gang. We played the freaking Steelers first week. We're gonna whoop their ass first week's next. It's this upcoming Sunday. But since football is back, I actually, you know, I've had some of the greats on my team as the Falcons. So I've got like the Matt Ryan jersey, Julio Jones. I've got a Michael Vick jersey. I got Deion Sanders. I think I'm forgetting one or two. But the main thing I'm trying to get to is, y'all, I finally have gotten a hold of a 1991 Mitchell and Ness Brett Favre Falcons jersey, number 4, baby. If you didn't know, Brett Favre was signed to the Falcons in 91, and he had a not so great year, and he got cut after that. But as you know, Brett Favre turned out to be one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it. You know what I mean? So I know Atlanta, we still beating ourselves up for actually letting him go. I'm sure we mad about that. You know, gang, Atlanta, you know, Falcons got my tattoo. But when I got the jersey, the guy actually brought me a actual McFarland's Michael Vick figure. Yay, 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 yay. So my little, you know, football season is going to be cracking this year. I'm pretty happy about that. I hope y'all teams do well this year. Really, I'm wanting my team to at least make it to the playoffs, but I'm going to tell y'all right now, we going to the Super Bowl, baby. We beating them y'all this year. I want to say we're going to do 13-5, or no, 13-4, right? 13-4, right? We'll take 4 losses, 13-4. We won't take our first loss till week 8, week 9. And then we're going to go to the Super Bowl. We might play against, it's crazy because I think we're going to play against the Ravens in the Super Bowl this year. That's who we're going to go against. I'm making my predictions now. And we're going to beat them by a field goal. We're going to beat them by a field goal. That's what's going to happen. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I do want to thank y'all again for coming out this week and listening to my TED Talk. Now I got to get ready to go to work. You know what I mean? You know how that goes. Got to pay the bills. But I thank y'all, appreciate y'all for coming out, listen to me on the hottest radio station on the planet, Hot 702.5 FM. You know, you can catch me every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Live here. So holla at your boy. Thank y'all again for listening to me. Again, take what y'all can from what I say. I hope y'all enjoy. I'll see y'all next week. Peace, love, and hair grease. I'll catch y'all next week.